TFSA, RRSP, FHSA. If you are a bigger investor, today's video is very important for you because you really need to understand how this account works in Canada. I'm going to explain today all three registered plans in details. And sorry to all the Canadians, I didn't find any Blue Jays or Raptors t-shirt or jacket. So next time I'll try to find one. This one just sitting in my closet. Alright, let's get started. Whenever it comes to these accounts, my friends always have these two questions which I want to cover before I get started. Why should I even care about these registered plans? The simple answer is to save tax. By investing into these accounts, not only you save tax on your income, but you can also save tax on your profit and gains as well. So, if you invest your money into non-registered plan, then you won't be getting any tax benefit. You have to pay tax on all the profits you make on the investing. The second question, which is again one of the very popular question, which plan is right for you? The simple answer is again, you don't have to pick one. Every account is designed for a different purpose. So you don't have to pick one. You can invest in all three. Alright, next I want to share the agendas of today's video. So how I'm going to explain you all these three accounts. The best way is to do a comparison. So I'm gonna have a three different column of each account and then I will let you know what are the advantage and disadvantage of each. And to get started, first I will be giving you the overview, like what is the account is for and what is typically used for, who can open and what type of investment you can hold. And then we're gonna talk about tax treatment, like how the tax is going to work. And then we're gonna talk about the contribution, like how much money you can contribute, stuff like that. And in the last, we're gonna talk about how much money you can withdraw or stuff like that. So that's all we're gonna cover into today's video. Alright, let's get started by comparing these three accounts: TFSA, RRSP, FHSA. Before I get started, just one of the thing I want to mention: FHSA is a brand new account that Government of Canada introduced a month ago, and it's slowly starting to grab by most of the banks and brokerage. So right now, not all the banks and brokerages start offering investing product for FHSA, but I'm sure in coming weeks or months, all the banks and brokerage will start offering the investing product for FHSA. Let's get started with the first question. What is it? What is a TFSA? So TFSA is a registered plan where your investment earnings and withdrawals are tax free. So whatever the money you invest into this account, you don't have to worry about any tax at all. For example, if you invest $10,000 in TFSA, okay, and let's assume you make profit of $500 after 1 year. Basically, you don't have to pay any tax on the $500, and also when you withdraw your money at any time, you don't have to pay any tax on the total amount. That's the best part of this account. Now let's quickly chat about RRSP. RRSP is also a registered plan in which your contributions are tax deductible and investment earnings are tax deferred. So this one is a little bit different from TFSA. And then again, guys, all these complicated terms like tax deductible, tax deferred, we're gonna discuss in the tax treatment slide as well. Okay, but let me start with this example. So if we invest $10,000 in RRSP, first of all, we're gonna get savings. We're gonna save tax in our total income. We'll be saving tax of $3,150. So you will be saving the money on the tax when you invest into this account. You don't have to pay any tax on profits. But this is the interesting part. Like when you withdraw your whole money, you have to pay tax on that. Basically, any money you withdraw from your RSP, it will be considered your as a income. So you have to pay according to tax according to the income bracket. Now the last one is FHSA. This is, as I said, a brand new account and is specifically designed for first home buyers. So your contributions are tax deductible and investment earnings and withdrawals are tax free if you use to purchase for your first home. So if you quickly look into this account is a basically combination of both of these TFSA and an RRSP. So if we invest $10,000 into this account, again the limit is 8,000. Okay, this is just an example. You will first of all save that much of tax when you're gonna file your tax file. Okay, so you're gonna save that much of tax, and you don't have to pay tax on any profit, and also you don't have to pay any tax when you withdraw the money, as long as you use this money for first home buyer. So this is, guys, the example for each and every account. Again, just to quickly wrap up, on TFSA we don't have to pay any tax, but we won't be getting any tax saving benefit. In the RRSP we will get benefit of tax when we invest the money, but we have to pay taxes when we withdraw. And on the FHSA we will get tax benefit as well, and we don't have to pay any tax in this account at all. Let's move over with our second question. What is typically used for? What are these typically account are used for? So TFSA is usually used for short-term goals or the long-term goals. So if you want to save money for your new bike, car, vacation, or home renovation, you can use this account. Again, why I say short-term, long-term? Because you can withdraw money from this account anytime. That's why there's a lot of flexibility, and this is the first preference account for our most of beginners. RRSP is specially designed for retirement. For example, when you're gonna retire, you will be making zero money from your income, right? It'll be no money. So when you're gonna withdraw the money, like for example 20,000 or 50,000 from RRSP per year, you have to pay tax only on that amount. That's why this account is specifically designed for retirement. Okay. Now, FHSA, this account is a new, and as I said before many times, it designed only for first home buyer. So, okay, not for home purchase, only for first home buyers, guys. With that, let's move over to next slide. One of the question I want to cover, popular question: who can open these account? You want to know whether you are eligible or not. Okay. The number one eligibility, which is same for all three accounts, that you should be a Canadian resident with a SIN number. As long as you have a SIN number, you meet the first requirement. Okay. Please note, it's not a permanent resident. It's a Canadian resident. Okay. As long as you have SIN number, you are eligible. The second requirement on the TFSA, you has to be at least 18-year old. And RRSP is opposite. You cannot invest into this account if you're 71 age or above. So you're totally free to invest in this account as long as you're below 71. The last one is a combination of these two. You has to be at least 18-year old and underage is 71. Now in the TFS there are only these two requirements. Okay, but in our RRSP we have one more, that you must be actively earning the income. Right now you must be earning income, and in the past you must have done tax return in Canada. Okay, this is a very important one. And there's a two more required in the FHSA plan. The number one requirement is you or spouse or your common law partner must not have owned a home. So if you're living in rent, that's mean you're eligible for this account. But there's one more condition to it. So if you haven't owned the home in 2023 or in last 4 years, then you're eligible. So these two are very important, guys. Make sure you haven't owned a home, your spouse or common law partner, and then if you haven't a purchased home from last 4 years, then you are eligible for FHSA. And then let's move forward with the next question: what types of investment you can hold in it? Okay. TFSA, RSP, you can hold, basically they are both same, and you can hold any type of investment which are available today, like GIC, saving deposit, mutual fund, ETF, stock, option, bonds, anything you can buy. These are the old account, so everything is available. However, in FHSA, as I said, the account is new. Only some of the companies have started giving the products like ETFs, stock, and option bond. But very soon, many banks and brokerage will give you many other options. The last question I want to cover: can you plan to be open jointly? This is one popular question for our married people or who are living in common law. So no, first question is you cannot open a joint account in any of these three accounts. Okay, all these plans are individual. However, in RRSP, you can contribute to your spousal RRSP. Alright guys, so this is the first I want to cover today. So we covered these questions. What is a TFSA? We give an example and what is typically used for. And then we just talk about eligibility, what type of investment available, and can you open jointly. So that's what the overview of TFSA, RSP, and FHSA. And now we are moving over to tax treatment, which is very important for you. So the first question are your contribution are tax deductible? Okay. So TFSA no. And then RRSP, FHA yes, as long as you're meeting the limit of contributions. Okay. So let me explain you by giving you example. So if you make 80,000 a year, okay, and then you invest $10,000 in RRSP, you only have to pay tax on $70,000. That's the biggest advantage of these two accounts. So for example, if you already have paid tax on the 80,000, when you're gonna do a tax return, you will be saving that much of money that you will get return money back. So that's the first, what is the meaning of tax deductible. Now the second one is, do my saving grow tax free or tax deferred? Again, very important, the investment we have there, how does it grow? Tax free. So TFSA, no problem, it's tax free, as I said. The RRSP is tax deferred. So what it means, your growth will happen tax free, but when you withdraw the money, you have to pay tax on it. Okay. The FHSA, everything is tax free as long as you use this fund for your first home purchase. Otherwise, this will be also considered your as a RRSP. Okay. So as long as you use for first home buyer, everything is tax free. So these are the two more important questions when it comes to tax treatment. Let's move forward with our next slide, which is a contribution. This is another important area, guys. We want to know how much we are eligible to contribute. Okay. So that's the first question. How much can I contribute each year? So for TFSA, this year they allow all Canadians to contribute up to $6,500. Okay, but if you never invested in TFSA, you should check your notice of assessment, and you must be having the balance over there like 60,000, 50,000. So you can use all that limit to invest. Okay, so if you're doing a tax file return from last 6, 7, 8 years, but you never use TFSA, you will be having a huge room. Must be around 50 to 60,000. And in the RRSP, you can contribute each year up to 18% of your previous earned income. So again, if I'm making 80,000 last year, 80,000. So you can multiply by 0.18, that'll be the percentage, and then you can make up to, I think, 14 to $15,000. Okay, that's how you know how much you can contribute. But again, you can still use your previous year's contribution limit. So if you haven't used your RRSP never, and then again you're still filing the tax from 5, 6 years, you must be having around another 30 to 40,000 limit for RRSP. But moving forward is 18% for the next year, and TFSA will see how much government will give us. This amount is decided by government. Now in the FHSA, 8,000 annually is fixed starting from 2023. Okay, and the maximum amount you can contribute in the FHSA is $40,000. So if you start investing today $8,000, up to next 5 years you will have $40,000 in your FHSA, and that's the maximum amount. Okay, so please check your guys contribution on your notice of assessment. It is very important because the next question is there any penalty for over contribution? Yes, there's a penalty 1% per month on excess contribution. So there will be penalty of 1%. Okay, so we do not want to cross our contribution limit. Otherwise, what is the purpose of investment? Just we are paying extra to government because of over contribution. So please check your notice of assessment, and then you will know what are your limits. The next question, again very important: can I carry forward unused contribution rule? Yes. So all three accounts. So for example, if I invested $1,000 in each account only in 2023, whatever the rest of the contribution limits are, it will be carry forward to next year. The last one: do I have to earn income to get contribution room? Or you should be actually working and you should be getting actually paycheck to contribute. So for TFSA, no, you don't have to be working actively. As long as you have savings, you can invest in TFSA. And RRSP, yes, because remember in the one of the slide I mentioned over here that you must be having actively income, and then you must have done tax file return previous year to eligible for that. So RRSP, yes, and FHSA, no, you don't have to be actively working. Okay, so this is guys over of the contribution. Now let's move over to our last point: withdrawing money. This is a very important for all the beginner investor to know how much tax I have to pay, or whether I have to pay tax at all when I withdraw the money. So first question you have in mind: can I take my money out for any reasons? Like we have some emergency, we want to withdraw our all the money. Can I withdraw it? TFSA, yes, you can withdraw your money anytime anywhere without paying any tax to government. Simple, very simple. Now in the RRSP it's a little bit tricky. So first of all, yes, you can withdraw the money, but if you withdraw the money before retiring, then you have to pay higher taxes. Okay, it will be considered your as an income. But if you use your RSP money for your first home buyer or lifelong learning plan, then you won't have to pay any tax. So in the RSP also guys, you can withdraw up to 35,000 for individual for your first home buyer, and then you don't have to pay any tax on that. It's a very important point to write down, okay? You don't have to pay tax up to $35,000 on RSP. So FHSA, yes, you can withdraw the money and you don't have to pay any tax as long as you withdraw the money for your first home buyer. Okay. Next question: if I withdraw the money, do I get my contribution room back? Another important question, guys. We don't wanna withdraw the money in 6 months and then we can never invest back. Okay. So in TFSA, yes, you will get the money, you will get the contribution room back, but only after the following year. So let's say your room is full today, and then you withdraw the money today in April. So next you can withdraw the money only in January 2024. Your rooms, everything reset, or your withdrawals by the start of the next year. What about RRSP? No, withdrawals have no bearing on your deduction limit or contribution limit. So you won't get your RRSP room back, guys. This is very important. So that's why we say RRSP is for retirement, and you won't get your contribution room back as long as you use for first home buyer plan, which needs to be paid back in 15 years. So if you withdraw $35,000 for first home buyer plan in RRSP, you will get your contribution room back, and then you don't and you have to pay that contribution in 15 years. Let me know guys in the comment if you are interested to know more about home buyer or first home buyer, okay? How the RRSP and FHSA work. So in FHSA, no, you won't get your back at any condition. So please note this also account is very important. And the last question is, do my withdrawals affect tax? Okay. So in TFSA, no. As I said, everything is tax free, nothing will. And RRSP, possibly yes. If you withdraw the money, first of all, you're never going to get contribution limit back, and then your income will be increased because the withdrawals you're making will be considered as your yearly income. Okay, so it will affect your tax returns. And then the FHSA, no, the withdrawals won't affect because you don't have to pay back. Again, as long as you using for first home buyer, FHS is all great. But if you doing the withdrawals for non-qualify any other reason, then again it will be act same as a RRSP. So this is the guys overall of our withdrawals. The next one, I just included this screenshot just to make everything in one picture and to understand. So the first question are contributions can be deducted from income. So if I invest $10,000, would that income will be deducted from my annual income? FHSA yes, RRSP yes, only for first home buyer plan. See, they also put this specifically in bracket. But in TFSA, no, I won't get any benefits for that. Withdrawals do not have to be paid back into account. FHSA yes, if you make any withdrawal, you don't have to pay back. And same goes to TFSA. But in RRSP, if you're withdrawing the money for first home buyer plan, you have to pay back in 15 years. Okay, very helpful screenshot. So I thought why not to share with the audience. This is one of the best slide I want to cover. I want to summarize everything with some of the scenarios, some of the example. So which account is the best startup account for beginners for a journal investment? Short term goals, long term goals. So if your goal is to have a monthly passive income or to buy new car or buy vacation, like short term goals or long term goals, the TFSA is the best account for you to use. Okay, start with the TFSA and then other accounts you can look into later. TFSA is the best account for beginners as long as that money is not for retirement or first home buyer. And the second question is, which account is best if your priority is to save and invest money for your first home? And then you know the answer, FHSA is the best account. Up to $40,000 you can invest in 5 years and you can withdraw the money. 8,000 is the yearly contribution limit. One of the thing, or you can also use RRSP as well. You can contribute up to $35,000 in RRSP and you can withdraw. But only the drawback is you have to pay back the $35,000 in 15 years. Okay. So both of are these accounts are good, and it's only totally depending on how much you need for your down payment. If you need only $40,000 for your down payment, or if you also have your wife as well, then you can withdraw up to $80,000 in FHSA. So the question you should ask, hey, is the $80,000 is enough for me for the down payment? If yes, then this is the all account you need in 5 years. But if you also want a more down payment like $35,000 RRSP and your account plus your wife account all together will be 17,000. So then if you do calculation of both of these accounts, you will have $150,000 for both of you saving for your down payment. Okay, but you need to max out. So first prioritize is the FHSA, then we're gonna use RRSP. The last question is again, which account is best if your annually salary is very high and you want to save money on the tax? So you're doing a tax file return from like last 5 6 years and you're paying $1,000 on taxes which you don't want to pay. Invest your money in RRSP, then you're gonna be saving a lot of money. Remember, if you invest $10,000, you're gonna save around 3 grand. So it's a very good account if your salary is high, and then for the retirement as well. So guys, just to wrap up again, each account is designed for a specific purpose. Okay, make sure you know that purpose. Make sure you know which account is best for you. One of the thing I want to cover in this video as well, in the last week. So last week I also uploaded another video, investing for beginner, how to start investing. So if you're a beginner, you don't know about like what are the investing options are there, how much is the return, how much is the interest, what is the risk, then please go ahead and watch this video. In last video, there were some question to me. They want to understand how the TFSA and RRSP is working. That's why I'm making today video on that. Now you have the knowledge of both of these. What are the investing products and what are the tax-free savings account? So guys, we almost at the end of the video, but I just wanted to cover my one of the upcoming videos. Again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section if you're looking for something else. So first of all, I will be revealing my Wealthsimple portfolio. This is one of my agenda. I want to really make this video. I'm just waiting for the right time. So revealing my Wealthsimple portfolio. And then also I want to share a March month dividend passive income, like how much money I made in March. I'm still waiting for my 2 or 3 dividends, which I'm gonna receive in next 3 days. Maybe next week, this is the video, or I make both of these video together. And then I also want to make these videos in account, like whatever some of the best savings account, which bank or which brokerage provide you the best deal of GICs, or which brokerage, or according to me, which stocks and ETFs are best. So I want to make these videos in detail. But yeah, that's all guys. Again, thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for watching the video. If you really like the content, please hit the like button and share with others. I'll see you next time. Till the time, take care and see you next week. Bye bye.
Take him from the yard.